Some kids gonna say, man, this is bullshit. I'm gonna go watch this. I'm gonna go home and read the books.
Well, that kid was you.
Goddamn right. See, I told you he's calling me a dummy. See, I knew it.
No, I called you a kid. I very clearly called you a little kid.
I'm a grown ass man. You called a kid. That's calling me a dummy. I think people always take me seriously and walk into the room wearing a shirt from dtmerch.com. They'd be like, oh, man.
Wear it with your suit.
Wear it with my suit. Yeah, just get that real European style. Just wear the coat with the T-shirt underneath.
Yeah.
They'll be like, damn,
No socks.
that man is all business right there with that polo on or that black tee with the white logo. Oh shit, man, he ain't got a briefcase. He's got a backpack with double toes. When you do decide to subscribe, you can do so many ways. You know, I recommend if you have an Amazon account, everybody does these days, go ahead and use it. If you have an Amazon Pay button, you can put your username in there, your password, press enter. And what was that you had yesterday? Look at her, she's looking for that toasty goodness in her purse. Did you get it? Did you get it? Look, she's paralyzed. She's like, oh shit. Okay, I can't move. For the month of Halloween, we do have a very talented artist for our Artist of the Month, and that is Samantha Wright with the Devil and Daniel Thomas. Go to samdrewthat.com. You can see all of the illustrations and art and designs that she's done. You might want to even hire her for yourself. Let's talk about Goosebumps 2. Some people said that's already out, ain't it? No, that was that other movie.
I know.
That Clock on the Walls, Clock in the Walls, that other Jack Black movie.
Jack Black.
Yeah, the other Jack Black movie that looks very similar. No, that's not the one that we're talking about. This is the sequel that takes place in a different town with a whole set of different characters, because with this one, they kind of went in and man in blacked the whole place. You know, they said that a lot of these people, they don't remember what happened. They can't be, magic erased their memories. So they had to go to another town and kind of recreate what happened there. And a lot of people are saying, well, shit, no big star actors in this except for Jack Black, and he's hardly ever in it. I don't sound like that's a good thing to me. A lot of people are very, very, very on guard about this, especially since the first one was not that bad. The first one was actually pretty good. Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it. I don't know if I'd call it pretty good, but it was not that bad.
Actually, I liked it a lot. And it really resonated with the people who grew up on the Goosebumps books, because they were able to see some of their actual characters come to life that scared them so much when they were kids. Let's go ahead and see if this second one has the same effect. This is Goosebumps 2, Haunted Halloween. Hey, look,
like, what you looking at?
They were looking at him like motherfuckers just the first time in jail. I'm gonna fuck you up tonight. I ain't mean mugging him, man.
I know. I know that oboe.
I know, got that fat man just walking in the room. That's funny, because right when he showed up there, little chubby boy, they were.
You discovered a walking, talking dummy and you didn't tell me?
Okay, well, he seemed like a really nice guy at the start.
I'll say that this is actually pretty much like the first Goosebumps movie, except lame. Because the first Goosebumps movie, like Martin wasn't too crazy about it. I never read Goosebumps because that was way before my time, and I don't know a lot of the characters that all the kids know, but I know a lot of the millennials and younger who saw that the first Goosebumps was coming out, and they even looked at the trailer. They were like, "Oh shit, that's from that book.
From this book,
and that's
yeah.
from that book over there." And it's sort of like Gremlins, but with a who's who of Goosebumps characters.
Yeah.
And it was fun to see how the kids recognized them. And you know what? It would actually be sort of almost be like a Gremlins ripoff if it weren't for one clever thing that kind of held the movie together, and that is Jack Black as R.L. Stein. This is the guy who plays the author of the Goosebumps movies, and he came into the movie, and it brought cohesiveness and kind of a dark humor to the film, where you have this Arthur trying to hunt down all the creatures that he created, which is it was a nice little hook for the film. You don't have so much Jack Black anymore in here.
Not his physical presence.
No. But you do have him in the other form of Slappy. At this point, they hardly have Jack Black here because we got Slappy. This is the Slappy show. This thing might as well be called The Return of Slappy, or Slappy's Revenge, or Night of the Slappy, because
it would be Return of the Living Dummy.
Yeah, no, we already had Return of the Living Dummy. This is the continuation, Bride of Slappy or something, because that's what this is called. It's called Haunted Halloween. Nah, it's Slappy, the Slappy Hour. This.
Well, every Halloween is haunted, but it is very Slappy centric.
And they do that because they know that Slappy is their most popular character.
He's their Spider-Man.
Yeah, pretty much. And so they focus so much on this character to a fault, because they leave it up to him to carry the film so much that the rest of the film is underwritten. Speaking for myself, I love scary dummies, man.
Yeah.
Mom's like, well, you love yourself.
Nah, that's too cheap. I wasn't gonna say
but
that.
You were thinking it.
No,
I know you.
No, I didn't even put that in the chamber.
Man, I saw your eyes.
No,
He's like, I'm just not gonna say it. but no, you too long, man.
It's too easy.
No, Martin. How did you feel about this? What I'm saying about this being the Slappy show?
Well, I think the way you feel is how most people are gonna feel about it, and I felt the opposite.
How so? When you say the opposite?
Okay, so I read a bunch of the Goosebumps books when my kids were little. I used to read to them all the time before bed, and the Goosebumps were my favorites to read because I really got into those stories. And the Slappy books, everything was always something with the living dummy. Those are our favorites. Now with the first movie, I was like, yeah, this is good. They actually put some money in it. And it's clever and it's fun, but it didn't feel like a Goosebumps book. It felt like, hey, here's a Goosebumps retrospective and best of, and a who's who of Goosebumps. And if you hadn't, it felt as if like, hey, we're only gonna make this one movie. That's why we're throwing all the characters in here, and we got that R.L. Stein gimmick, which I was like, yeah, it's kind of clever for what this is, but I always felt, man, I kind of wanted to see just a Goosebumps tale, and this one feels more like that, where it is all about Slappy, and it's one singular tale where he's the main monster who brings these others. Some moments in here where I was like, because I was like, it's a Saturday morning. I didn't want to wake up and see this, and I was like, I know this is going to be lame, and I was like, and somehow within it, I was like, you know what? Every so often in here, there's something kind of cool or actually funny. There's that moment when Slappy goes off on his own to go after one of the characters, a boyfriend, and the way that was set up, I was like, this is like a real, honest to goodness, horror movie, the way he's all creepily coming in and about to fuck this kid up. And just a bunch of moments like that. I was like, you know what? I'm enjoying it for these little things I like along the way.
Yeah. Sorry I couldn't be there with you, man.
Well, I understand. I'm telling you, as somebody who read the books, it reminded me of those books more than the first movie did. And it also reminded me of that TV series.
Well, I'll tell you the reason why I didn't like it. Maybe it's because I'm just, again, case of just seeing too many movies. I don't like these characters. Slappy's such a big thing in the movie that when I say everything's underwritten, I'm talking about the characters too. For one, I've seen a string of movie series lately where the characters are defined by the same cliche that you see in every other mediocre family or children's movie. The main characters in the movie, you saw, let me see here, you saw them in the trailer. You got the chubby kid in here, the big sister, you got the black friend that's in this, and these two guys here, the black guy is.
Well, they don't make a big deal about him being black.
No, let me finish. No, they don't make a big deal about him. I'm just saying that's what you see, the cliche of the token black friend. You got, and they're both nerds. This guy right here, what's his name? I this kid is named Jeremy something. Jeremy Ray Taylor. And then his the black friend is Khalil Harris. And I don't mind a token black guy. I don't mind a chubby nerd in the movie. That's fine with me. But they're defined by being underdogs because they have a bully. And I'm sick and tired of the same old bully that's coming out. When we gonna get? I want the movie about the bully. Why are you so angry? Why are you just picking on kids for no reason?
I do want some movie to have a bully to where we at least understand his motivation, even if we don't agree with it. But it always has these guys who want to pick on somebody for just no reason whatsoever.
For no reason at all. They got a bully in here who he just like you. The teachers, these dumbass teachers, every time they come up, the bully pretty much just beat the fuck out this kid. And the teacher comes up like, why are you still in the hall? And he's like, oh, hello, Miss Johnson. I'm just talking to my buddy right here. And motherfuckers hardly have consciousness. I'm just at school, just enjoying learning and getting an education. I'm not beating the shit out of people.
Dude, that was this movie.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, which movie are you talking about?
Martin, we just saw this movie not too long. I don't want to say, but we just saw this. And Martin, it's in every other movie. We see this cliche all the time. Let's not act like we don't see it. You know,
we do.
I know, and I'm just tired of it, man. Just tired of it. The girlfriend in the movie, I'm sorry, the big sister in the movie. It's always, and the big sister's played by Wendy McLendon Covey. And
no, that's the mom.
I'm sorry, that is the mom. I'm sorry. You know who played the daughter in the movie?
I know she was in Jumanji.
That's where I saw her from. Yeah. That's right. I know. Madison Iceman.
That's right.
That's who that was.
Yeah.
Good actress. She was good in Jumanji. Mm-hmm. But in this movie, she's every older high school student that we see trying to get into college. If it's a girl, they always got a boyfriend that turns out to be an asshole.
Yeah.
You know, it's just same shit, and always has, they always got that scene of, Mom, I was invited to a party. Well, stay home with your brother. And I'm like, oh, shit, this sitcom. This is a movie of this ABC family. Speaking of the mom, what's her name? Wendy
McLendon Covey.
Always a single mom who just happens to meet the guy in town who's too shy to talk to her. You know, these things are defined by cliches. They're not real characters. And, to me, that's when you write shorthand that way, that's one of my gripes that I've always seen. Unless the movie can really defy that, which to me this does not, then I'm out. This ain't deep at all. This shit ain't no reflection on nothing but making money off of a movie that was popular before this. And your two leads are weak, man. I'm sorry, that the chubby kid, he can't act.
He can't.
No, he cannot act.
No, he's bad.
And when they do talk, they talk in sitcom quips and jokes. Every time they say, then again, not even real dialogue. I'm not convinced that they're friends. They talk. When they talk, every time they say something, it's a joke, some lame act, and I'm expecting a laugh track to come in.
Yeah, the black kid Khalil, he's having to carry that friendship.
He really is. And I'm not even blaming the actors. It's just that they just don't seem very good.
Well, yeah, no, with the other actor, what's his name? Jeremy. Just a lot of times when he was spoken to, he seemed like he was staring into space and then would just come back very dryly with his reply. I was like, dude, be present. Come on.
Yeah.
You're here.
Yeah, they really, and the funny thing about it is even the thing that they do, this job that they have, is like, no wonder you're getting your ass beat. You're garbage man. Like they say, we got a business picking up people's junk and trash.
Wait, garbage men are supposed to get their asses beat?
These kids are, because they act like, oh, we're budding businessmen. No, you're garbage pail kids. You just go around picking up trash for everybody. You're like a miniature Sanford and Son. It's like y'all are doing everything you can to not be cool in high school. No wonder you're getting your ass beat.
Why does somebody have to try to be cool?
Because the bullies picking on them. I would think they want to do something to get them off their ass. But you know what? I'm not even worried about them. The job that they have is like you got that job only as an excuse to find the dummy, to go into a place with some garbage and find them. It's not even it doesn't even feel authentic with these two. So you like Scrappy in this, huh?
Slappy.
Scrappy. I just got through talking about trash.
Yeah, I did. I mean, it's Jack Black doing his impression of Mark Hamill's Joker for the most part, but yeah, I did because he was a lot more like Slappy is in the books.
Okay, in the books, is Slappy a god?
No, because that was one thing when he's using telekinesis and doing stuff. I was like, they seem to have upgraded his power set.
Because in this movie, Slappy is a god.
Yeah,
Slappy has infinite power, which just means that whenever we need to do something, we just make shit up on the spot because there's no real definition no real weaknesses as to what defines Slappy. Slappy can do anything. As you said, Slappy got telekinetic powers. Slappy can teleport.
That he seemed like he always could do it.
Slappy can move shit with his mind. Slappy can actually turn other people into dummies.
Because this times they buried him and he got back home and he was sitting there like, yeah, that shit didn't work, did it? Now sit down.
Yeah. Yeah, Slappy can do anything that they want Slappy to do. Like I said, and some of it's horrifying. So like Slappy actually turned somebody into a living dummy. And I'm like,
yeah, that was
okay.
See, there's a lot of little horrifying things in that because I think this movie is for younger kids.
Yeah,
and I would see things like that. I was like, all right, some kids gonna have a nightmare about that.
Oh, some kids gonna say, man, this is bullshit. I'm gonna go watch this. I'm gonna go home and read the books.
Well, that kid was you.
Goddamn right. See, I told you he's calling me a dummy. See, I knew it.
No, I called you a kid. I very clearly called you a little kid.
I'm a grown-ass man. You called a kid. That's calling me a dummy. Might as well be calling my ass mentally challenged. With Slappy, his motivation is weak in the movie for me. Not only does he have infinite powers that they don't really define, they just kind of make up whenever they need something, whenever it's convenient to have him pop up somewhere or read somebody's mind. I do agree with you, him being kind of creeping at one part. I said, man, that part you're talking about, I agree with you wholeheartedly with that is a good horror moment in here.
Yeah, it's a good horror. And just him kind of terrorize these kids like, hey, we're going to be a family now, right? Wait, why y'all over there talking without me? It's like, jeez.
Yeah,
okay.
there are moments in here where they play it like a slasher film.
Yeah.
You know, he singles out that one teenager who got away from the herd doing some stupid shit, like standing on a ladder,
Yeah.
you know, conveniently set up for a kill. You know, but it's I wish the movie had expanded on moments like that because that thing you talk about him, like what is Slappy in the first one? Slappy's motivation was, look, I ain't going back to jail. He didn't want to be in that book no more. He's like, I'm gonna release my army of monsters and we're gonna take over the world. We ain't going back in that shit. But with this, Slappy comes back and is like, what is Slappy? What is his motivation here? Oh, he wants a family. He wants some mommy. They don't ever explain why. Why does he want a family? Fuck, I know. They don't really give you a reason why. They just need a reason for him to come back and do some stupid, evil shit. And granted, if that doesn't even work that well, because the kids have been nicer to him, the little son of a bitch might have been cool.
He was not going to be cool. Trust me. He would have been cool for a little while. Nobody who blackmails you is going to be cool.
Martin, who likes being picked up and talking about, look at this ugly motherfucker right here. You know, when they knew that he was actually conscious and alive, they should have started treating him. They should have said, oh shit, man, my bad. I'm sorry. You'd
have been like, I gotta get this motherfucker out of my house.
No, I would have been like, I'm reasonable, Martin. I would have been like, Slappy, man, look, I know I said some shit. Let's start over. I didn't know you were alive. You know? I probably said some shit I didn't mean. If we want to be a family, then let's be brothers, man. You know, ain't gonna be no funny shit on my end, and I don't want none of yours either.
Late now.
Yeah, well, okay, then your ass gotta go. Now, Martin, it does have its fun parts. There are moments where when the creatures start to appear, I like that, man. Because I think the designs of the creatures are pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought they were too. I was surprised by that because I thought, well, once it gets to here, this is where it's going to lose me. And I was like, oh, they actually spent some work on it.
No, they're very cool designs that they got going on. It's good to see the variety. It's good to see this motherfucker really into this role.
I did not notice him before just now.
Look,
yes.
Look, I never noticed this before. I just looked at this. If you're listening, you should look at one frame in this trailer right here. There's a frame where they got one dude. He's a combination of Frankenberry and Count Chocula right there, and he's looking at the camera, overacting. Bleh, bleh.
It's the most fabulous vampire I've ever seen.
Look at me, mother. You said I'd be nothing. But it's cool. But you know, the thing I don't like about it is that it's just all there to be random effects images, just there for creatures to run amok. I don't think that there's really any story, like I was talking about with Jack Black, to hold these things together. Slappy's here to hold it together, but again, I think his motivation is weak. And even with that, the way these creatures are let loose in the first movie, it was kind of cool that they were escaping from books because the author had these cursed books that were really
Sure.
that's why I thought the story was great. This whole time you thought that R.L. Stein was writing these books because he's a genius. all right, because he's such a great author. Turns out that these books are kind of cursed, and these ideas are coming from him because these are ideas that want to actually come to life. Here, it's none of that. It's the way these creatures come to life. Slappy goes into a knockoff Walgreens or CVS and just he starts talking in tongues and talking a bunch of mumbo jumbo, and all of a sudden creatures start coming to life off the shelves.
Karumari, Odanaloma.
Remember me from the first movie. So, you know, that's how they do Slappy in all these scenes. That's how they explain it. He just goes in, just talks a bunch of gibberish, pig Latin
casting a
stuff.
spell.
Yeah, it's nay on the appy sleigh, and you know, and all of a sudden all these things come to life. But to me, that's a cheat. He can do anything as long as he's
honestly, in every one of his books, it's because somebody utters that phrase. They find it, they utter that incantation, and he comes to life.
That's cool for him coming to life. When I see it for everything else coming to life, I'm just kind of like, all right, you know, you can do that. Again, it's a convenience. You can do that for anything that you want in the movie, and he does. But that's for me. Like I said, I haven't read the books like you have, and I will say this: the movie really does work well when it's capturing the spirit of Halloween.
Yeah. It works well doing that. I love that they have this neighborhood that really goes all out for it. The design on Ken Jeong is their neighbor who goes way too far on Halloween and doesn't have kids, but he's got this giant spider made out of balloons. And I was like, that works really well. I wish I had the patience to put something like that together.
No, it
looks
does.
cool.
And you know what's great about that is that just watching people decorate like Ken Jeong in the movie, it really it puts you in the Halloween spirit.
Yeah.
It makes you feel really cool about it. And Ken Jeong, again, he's actually
pulled back.
He's pulled back. He's a little funny. As Martin said, he's a guy that just loves Halloween just a little bit too much for a grown man who ain't got no kids.
Halloween with pumpkins and mice. Halloween, it's so nice.
That ain't acting. He loves Halloween. I think they just drove by and saw him decorating his house. Hey, Ken, want to be in a movie, man? Hells yeah.
Wow, you've practically got a theme park here.
Check this out.
It's like being in the movies.
I'm gonna have these puppies up and running in no time.
Yeah, his ass gonna be in jail by next Halloween. Don't get candy from his house.
But you notice how throughout the night he kept changing costumes?
Yeah.
Like he's just that into it.
He's like a Halloween diva.
Yeah.
Doing costume changes. Shit does more costume changes than Lady Gaga. What for all the things that I do like with the Halloween spirit, what bothered me with it is that it's a movie that admits that it's badly written. And they finally get to a point where R.L. Stein shows up. It's just kind of like, oh, my writing was very, very amateurish at the time. I'm just like,
I love that.
So you just told me that this is some shitty writing, right? This is a shitty script.
I'm surprised that was almost a jab at the actual R.L. Stein who makes a cameo in the movie.
I thought it was towards the script.
No, I think it was towards his books.
Yeah, I think differently. But that's where we disagree.
Yeah,
I know.
You just influenced because you're sitting there like, man, I got a hangover. Why am I watching this bullshit?
That too. But still, I was just kind of like, so you just admit that you shat this movie out. Right here, that does not give you an excuse to make a shitty movie. If that's the case, then leave this shit in the books.
That's not how I read that line.
You know what? And maybe they didn't intend it, but it should have felt like that. You know something? The movie even feels cheaper than the first film. It feels
definitely.
It feels more generic. It actually doesn't have as much atmosphere as the first Goosebumps movie. If you look at the trailer for the first Goosebumps movie, you can see what they did was they set up this really great atmosphere with some of the acting and with some of the set design and art direction. You know, the creepy neighbor and the creepy house. You know, you can see that the money in this is going into just better cinematography.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and with this just feels cheaper. And the first one was a successful movie, so I don't know why they would do that. I even had to look up the numbers. The first Goosebumps, that was a $58 million budget that they had for that. Ended up making $80 million. This one is $35 million.
Yeah, well, sometimes that's how they go. But see, because you look, 80 million from 58, that's a nice number, but it's not. Ooh, this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it didn't make 100 million, so they cut back.
So they cut back. That's always what happens. Because I could tell from the trailer that they cut back on the budget, which is one reason I was not looking forward to this and trying to think to myself, man, is there any way I can skip going to this movie? It's better than a Disney Channel movie, but not by a whole lot.
Yeah, and they had some moments in the movie that surprised me too. That whole thing with the gummy bears, I thought that was just going to be sort of a cheap special effect scene in the film, but actually that was one of the more horrifying parts of the movie.
Yeah, I thought that too. I thought, all right, this is the gummy bears part. Okay, let's get this over with. And as I sat there thinking about it, I was like, all right, this is actually kind of terrifying.
Yeah, set piece is what I was looking for. I thought it was just going to be like a cute comedic set piece to let's kind of go in and take advantage of. Oh, look, we took an innocent candy and made it did a sinister twist on it. But they actually did do a sinister twist on it. The movie works best when it's capturing the spirit of Halloween and when it does capture some real horror movie moments. But I just felt like it really did feel like a sequel to hurry up and get something out before the property got a little stale. So this is a rental. Nice Halloween movie, but nothing special. Comes on TV. Wouldn't criticize it too much. Actually, would admire it for some of the really good Halloween parts that are in there. Why are you laughing, man?
Here's why I'm laughing. We've been back and forth on this, and I know I like this movie more than you. Most of your criticism, I agree with. It's got a Hallmark Channel movie look about it. It's cheap. It cheaps out on story places here and there, and yet I found so many little things that I not just I won't say loved, but really genuinely enjoyed or were surprised by. Either things I thought were scary in their own way or jokes that were funny, to where watching this, I was just sitting there, I was amused. I was just like, huh, that was funny. I like that. Oh, damn. Oh, wow. A little kid actually could be terrified. Okay. I was like, this is effective even though it shouldn't be. But the reason I laughed is because I was going to give it a rental also. For all our back and forth, it is a rental. It is the kind of movie you watch at home. It's a good Halloween movie. I mean, like Jack Black, suddenly he's Mr. October. But yeah, if you especially if you have some smaller, younger kids, I think it'd be good for them.
So give it a rental?
Yeah.
Well, he just doesn't get it. Just don't understand. It's a rental, y'all. Not a rental. Jesus, man.
But I'm giving it a happy rental.
Okay, well, I'm giving a mad rental. Just to spite you, man.